Hi, this is Happy Bird from happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful little shabby chic Christmas tree ornament. Now, I do apologize in advance for my voice. I don't have a cold, but there is a lot of construction going on. They're building new homes directly behind us, and so I seem to have stuffy sinuses a lot because of it. So, I do have a pattern for you, and I will place that pattern in the first comment below this video, as well as on my blog at happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com. So there's two places you can go to find it. This was such an easy little ornament. The hardest part for me was deciding how to decorate it, because the possibilities are absolutely endless. But I do give you a couple of tips in this video as to what I found looked the best on Christmas trees, or the Christmas tree ornaments, to kind of help you out a little. Now, I also have a friend named Crafty, and she's been putting out a lot of Christmas videos lately, so I'll be sure and put the link to her page below in the comment, the first comment as well. And I also want to tell you about a new YouTuber, and she makes beautiful little hand-sewn sequin ornaments with felt and sequins, and they are just beautiful. And the name of her channel is Steffi's Beads and Baubles, and I'll put the link to Steffi's YouTube channel because I really enjoy it, and she's a wonderful teacher. She goes slow so you can understand everything, and I think you'll enjoy her too. And if you could please subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And tell both of them that Happy Bird sent you. So with that said, I'm going to get started, and I'll show you how to put this very easy little tree together. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need is some stiff white felt. And you can pick up this felt at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I'm sure they have it at Joann's too. And it's generally about $1.99 a sheet when it's not on sale. And make sure that you pick up the kind that is non-adhesive. You don't want the type with the peel-off sticky back, okay? You just want the plain, stiff white felt. Now, the pattern that I gave you, all you do is just tape it onto some plain old cereal box cardboard and cut around it, and then you'll have a pattern. And then I just placed this on my stiff white felt, and I traced around it with a mechanical pencil, and then I cut this out of the felt. And it doesn't matter if there's any pencil lines, because that will be covered anyway. So this was really easy to cut out, or at least I thought it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some painter's tape, and I'm going to put the tape right across here because I want to paint the pot part of the Christmas tree first. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this as even as possible. Oops, what am I doing? It should probably be about here, like that. So I want to paint this part. So I decided that I was going to use this Martha Stewart metallic acrylic paint, and it is multi-surface. It's called Sterling. Okay, you can use anything you want. You can use a brown paint, gold paint, sterling paint, any color you want, but I just chose this. Okay. I probably have a little too much in there, but that's okay. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to do is take a little dollop of the triple thick and put it in the paint. And I really don't measure these things out. I just take my stick like this. Oops, let me put the camera up a little bit. I didn't realize you're out of frame. Okay, so I just put a little dollop like that. Just kind of shake it on there. And then maybe another one like that. So it's not a ton, but it's enough just to mix it up in there. Make sure it's well incorporated. Okay. Cover this up. Alright, so now I'm going to take my little makeup brush here, and I'm just going to dip in here. And I don't know if you can see this. And I'm just going to paint this like that. Just like so. And it'll soak in, and that's fine. That's what you want. Just make sure it's covered as it starts to soak in. Now, make sure that you get the edges of the pot too. You want every little part here to be covered. Just like so. Okay, now you can see that it's starting to soak in areas, and so I'm going to go back in and just put a little more, like that. Okay, now I'm going to speed up the drying process by putting this under my tabletop fan, and then I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing on the back. Now you can see that some of it has already started to soak through in the back, and that's fine because we have this taped off, so it's not going to really go any further than that. Okay, so we want this side to dry first, and then we'll go back and we'll put painter's tape here and paint this side, and I'll probably do that part off camera. Okay, alright, so let me go put this under my tabletop fan. Okay, so I finished both sides, and the reason why I painted this silver was because I'm going to use silver glitter on top of it. So I want a similar shade to my glitter. Otherwise, a lot of the white will show through. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to paint the top of this tree pink, because that's what I decided I wanted my tree to be. And so this paint is by Martha Stewart, and it's the multi-surface satin paint, and it is in peppermint bark. Okay. Now before I start to paint that, I'm going to cover with painter's tape right up here, like that. And I'll paint the front, and then I'll do the exact same thing to the back off camera. Okay. So before we begin, I'm going to shake some of this paint in here. Just enough to do the front, and then I'll make some more to do the back. It's wanting to spurt out today, so sorry about that. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit in the cup, and then I'm going to add a little bit of triple thick. I think this triple thick also, besides hardening, Oh gosh, I just slopped this. This was a full jar, so I should have been a little more careful. Move some of this over here. Sorry about that. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of triple thick in here, maybe a couple of dollops, about like that. And I'm going to mix it up. Just make sure it's well incorporated. Okay. And I'm going to put the lid on this triple thick. Okay. And then I'm going to take my little makeup paintbrush. And I'm going to be careful not to lay this in the triple thick that I managed to slop all over the place. And I'm just going to paint this like this. And of course it'll soak in. And the name of this Martha Stewart multi-surface paint, once again, is called Peppermint Bark, but you can use any paint that you would like that will match, or at least be the same shade as the colored glitter you're going to be using, or a similar shade. And you'll see that this will soak up some areas. And don't forget the edges of the tree. You don't want any stiff white felt showing there, unless you plan on using white glitter for your iridescent glitter for your tree. Then you wouldn't have to paint it at all, but you would have to add some of the triple thick just to make sure it's nice and stiff and hardened, just like I did in my other ornaments where I used triple thick before I put down glitter. Okay. And I just want to make sure that I've got every little space here covered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up and just do the edges like this. So I want those edges covered just to make everything look really finished. And I'll just continue on around. Like so. Alrighty. So I'm just going to take this off like so. And I'm going to allow this to dry under my tabletop fan, and then I'll turn this around and do the exact same thing on the back. Okay, you can see that Some of it has started to soak in a little bit. And when that's completely dry, then we'll add the glitter, okay? So there is some painting involved in this, but it's not a ton of work, and it is not difficult at all. It's just a matter of waiting for it to dry. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, I've had this drying quite a while under the tabletop fan for several hours, and as you can tell, it's nice and stiff, and it's painted on both sides. So now we're going to work on just the base of the tree. So I'm going to need my painter's tape again. And I'm just going to lock this off right here on the line. And I'm going to put some triple thick on here with a little of this silver glitter. This is by Creatology. And I just want the pot just to be a solid color. Okay. So what I'm going to do is brush some triple thick on the top. I said on the top, I meant on the bottom. Okay, and as you can see, I'm being pretty generous about it. So about like that. Okay. Let me close this. And I'm going to sprinkle some of this silver glitter on. It's really pretty. Okay. Now I'm going to come in with my popsicle stick. I always like doing this afterwards. I like to tap it down because it helps it hold. Like that. Now I'm just going to tap in the edges right here, just in case any glitter's hanging out. I'm not going to shake it. I'm just going to turn it over gently one time and make sure again that there's no little pieces sticking out. And then I'm going to take this off at this point, going straight across like that. Alright, so this bottom part here I'm going to allow to dry, okay, under my tabletop fan, but don't put it too close. You don't want to blow the glitter around, okay? So when I'm finished with that, I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did here on the front on the back, and then we'll be back to do the tree part. Okay, so as you can see, I have both sides of the bottom part of the tree finished. So we're going to do one side at a time, but before we start, I'm going to mix up some glitter. And I'm going to start with the Recollections Extra Fine Glitter in Glitz. And you can use anything that is equivalent to this if you can't find this particular one. So I'm going to pour a little bit of that into this cup, like that. And then I'm going to use the Ultra Fine Glitter in Blush by Recollections. You can use any ultra fine glitter you want in a pink color if you're going with pink. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that in, like that. And then I'm going to use the Jumbo glitter in the pink, and I bought this, of course, at Walmart. I'm going to shake some in there. And I also bought this jumbo glitter at Walmart as well, and this is crystal quartz, and these are a little under $3 a piece, the jumbo glitters. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there as well. And then I'm going to come in with my German glass glitter, the clear German glass glitter in 70 grit. And I'll have the link on this on my blog at happybirdsglitternest.blogspot.com. You just open the front page, click on the picture of this ornament, and it'll be right there. So I'm going to put that in there too. Maybe just a dab more, but not much. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my little stick, stir this all around. Okay. Like this. All right. I'm going to open my triple thick carefully. Like that. Take my makeup brush and brush this on here first. I'm going to do a fairly generous amount. I don't think I'll need to tape this off here at the bottom. I think it'll be fine when I'm finished. So I'm just going to just kind of put this on like that. And if you notice, I'm being pretty generous. Okay, and then I'm just going to go clear on down here. And I'll do the exact same thing to the back once this is completely dried. And I'm going to leave this overnight. Okay, and I'm just going to put very carefully across here. Okay, so let me close this jar. I always close the jar first because triple thick isn't something that you want to leave open for very long. Alright, so I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. Not worried about any of the excess glitter falling all around it because of course I'll be sweeping that up and using it on the back. Okay. And you can use a combination of any glitters that you would like. Alright, so now I'm going to take this popsicle stick, and I'm just going to do this because I don't want any of those glass shards sticking up. So I'm going to press it down lightly all the way down, and it just kind of helps everything to stay in one place. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to turn it over once. I'm not going to shake it. I'm just going to turn it over one time, and then I'm just going to make sure that there aren't any little fuzzies sticking out around the tree here. And you see, this is why I painted it pink with the triple thick beforehand, because if I don't cover every little you know, every teeny little piece on this, then it's really difficult to tell where I made the mistakes and where I didn't, because it's a similar shade. So we have this much, and I'm going to, like I said, allow this to dry overnight, and it'll be really pretty in the morning. And then I will do the back part of the tree off camera, okay, and allow that to dry. And so when I come back, then we'll go ahead and get started in decorating our tree, okay? So I'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, this is completely dried and it's hard. And what I did was, after it was thoroughly dried, I just went in with a very soft brush and just brushed both sides like this to get rid of any excess glitter. Okay. Now the next step we're going to do might seem a little odd to you to begin with, but you'll see why I did it in a moment. You're going to be punching a hole at the top right here to hang your ornament. Don't make it so close that it'll rip, but just put it about here, okay? So to punch a hole, and then I'm going to place this upholstery thread that I bought at Walmart. You can find this where the regular threads are, and you have to look closely because it says upholstery at the top. It's the only way that you'll have of knowing that this is not regular thread, this is upholstery thread. And I like this, like I showed you in my candy cane video. It's very strong and it's difficult to see, so it's not going to be real obvious when you put this on your ornament. Okay, so I'm just going to string, I think I'm going to, yeah, I'll do it this way. I'll put it on a needle. Pull this through the top. I have to use the ones that where I have to push the thread from the top because I just can't see to thread a needle anymore. Okay, so I'm going to put that through here, and then slide these two pieces in the loop and take that off, and then just pull. I don't know if you can see it up close. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie this part just like this. Make sure I do a couple of overhand knots, at least. Like that. Okay. Alright, so now, this is why I did this first. You're going to put your star or whatever you choose to put on the top of your ornament on now, okay? I bought this beautiful rhinestone lace from a seller that I use quite often on eBay, and he takes anywhere from 3.5 to 6 weeks to send this, okay? And I bought 10 pieces for $1.59, and that was with free shipping. Now some of the flowers came with this part in the middle a little off center, but it was easy as pie to just flick it off and hot glue it in the back and recenter it. Okay, but these are really pretty and it was a great price. Now I will put the link in on my blog. All you have to do is go to my blog and click on the picture of this ornament and the link will be right there for you. Okay, so what I did with this lace is I stiffened it up a little by using triple thick, and I just did it on one side around the edges here. I didn't do it on the back part. I didn't think it needed it. And I didn't put any glitter or anything like that on it. I just put triple thick around here. And I was careful not to get any on the rhinestones. I took the side of my brush and just kind of went in with a triple thick in between. Because if you get any triple thick on the rhinestones, it will dull the shine. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to take my little hot glue gun. In fact, it might be better just to, yeah, put the hot glue right here, I think. Alright, and then once you do that, you're going to glue the little ornament topper right here. And then see, we have our thread that we can hang this by. And it's hidden. Okay, so I'm going to start out with that. And now the decorating part was actually the hardest for me, because there are so many different possibilities that you can use. But the thing that really helped me, or that I noticed, was first off, you'll need pieces that have some kind of dimension to it, okay? Pieces that are completely flat are not going to pop out as much. And you shouldn't use pieces that are really close in color to your tree. That's an example. It's not going to pop off the page because it's too close to this color. But you could use something like this that's a little darker, and you could definitely see that. So dimension and color make all the difference in the world. I did buy this at Michael's. It's originally $9.99 for the box, but I used my 40% off coupon plus my 15% off senior discount, and you have to ask them for the senior discount. When you go to the store, they take it, or they'll give you the discount anytime that you want. But you would be surprised at how few people ask for it. I've seen other seniors online, and they never ask for their senior discount, so I don't think that they are aware of it. And I have let some people know in advance, and they were surprised. So I bought that, and I also bought these, and these almost look like they have mermaid colors. I thought those were pretty. And you can also pick up little bits and bobs on eBay. These are some roses, and these are about, oh, I'd say between an 11 and 12 millimeter, and the roses on the tree look really pretty too. So I mean, there's all different ways you can do it. My suggestion to you would be to lay out different designs and patterns first before you actually glue anything down, and then decide from there what you wanted to do. Now, I wanted to put 3 little pieces of garland here, and my first idea was to use rhinestone chain. I want to show you something though. So I put the rhinestone chain here, and yeah, it looks pretty. But then I took some of this bead trim, or sometimes they call it bead line, and I cut that and I put it here, and this actually shows up better than the chain, and I think it's because the chain has so much sparkle to it that although you can see it, it gets lost in all the sparkle of the tree. So this cheap little trim here actually worked out better. And this has a little more dimension to it. So dimension is really important. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to lay out everything on my tree and decide how I want it, and then I'll be back and we'll glue it down. Okay, so I'm going to start with a garland, and if you're only making a few of these trees and you don't want to have to go out and purchase a big roll like this, then you can find these in a couple of different sections at places like Walmart as it gets closer to Christmas. Look in the miniature tree section. A lot of times they'll have small packages of this, as well as in the fabric department. They have these on rolls, and small rolls, not like the roll I have. So what I do is I just cut a few pieces off, and they already have a natural curve to it because it's on a roll. But if some have more of a curve than others, you can relax this trim by just kind of pulling it like this, and it kind of stretches and relaxes the threads a little more. Just do it a little at a time, like that, and then it should be a little more relaxed for you. Okay, so I think I'm going to glue this one here, and I'm only going to anchor it by the end part to begin with. And I'm using my Shabonder Mini Detail Hot Glue Gun because I just want to anchor it, and I'm just going to let it sit here for a second. And then I'm going to come in and do one of the beads under here, and I'm being careful because I don't want to make this a hot glue gloppy mess, okay? That's what I'm trying to avoid. And then you're going to put some right here, just to anchor one down. And these are lightweight. These are acrylic, so you don't really need a whole lot of glue. I don't think I got any on there. Now, if you don't have a Shabonder hot glue gun like this, you can certainly put some like here, like on your paper, and just take the beads and just kind of lightly drag it through. Not through the whole strand, but in places. That will help. And those are for those of you who, like I said, don't have a detail glue gun. Okay, so now I'm just going to snap off the end part with scissors, like that. And I think I'll place that one right about here. You want to leave enough room in between where you can decorate with larger beads if you want to. Put that there, kind of hold it down a little. Put this here, and then right here. About like that. I'm going to let it set though before I snip it off, okay? I'm going to make sure it's on there. Okay, so now I can go in and just kind of snip off the part that I need to. Alrighty, so it's looking good. And then this part, I think I'll put it right about here. Yeah. So just take your time with this part. There's really no need to rush it, and it will make all the difference in the world. And then right here, make sure that is set before I go snipping. Okay, there we go. Snip and snip. There we go. So we have this, just like that. Okay, so now on to the decorations. Okay, so I decided to use these little acrylic pearls that I bought from Michael's, and I used all of the colors except pink because this pink was too close to the shade of in my tree, and so it kind of got lost. So I used the other three colors, and they do have them in different shapes, which is really nice. It gives your tree a little bit of interest. Now I'm not using E6000 to glue this down because they are acrylic. If it was metal or metal pieces that I was using, I would definitely use some E6000, but hot glue for this will be just fine. Now, you can use a little Dollar Tree tweezer. They come in sets of 3. You find them in the tool section. And these are nice if you want to kind of scooch them over a little bit, or, you know, just do little things like that. So basically what I'm doing now is I'm just picking these up and placing them right back where I had them. And I'm using the Gorilla Glue glue sticks. I really like these. You can get them at Walmart, you can get them on Amazon. Like this. And then just a little bit on here, like so, and just a little bit here. Okay, now for these. This is such a good deal too at Michael's. I mean, you get a lot in here. I bought something similar to this years ago, but they were just the clear rhinestones, and they were 3 different sizes in the package. And I swear, those things, I still haven't seen the bottom of that box yet. Okay, and then last one right here. Okay. So I think this turned out really pretty, and I love the Shabby Chic colors anyway, but I think it turned out really nice. This will make a lovely ornament for your tree or to gift someone else with. Let me see if I can move out my camera a little bit. I can pull it back a little. So I hope you really enjoyed this, and I appreciate each and every one of you for watching, and God bless you all. You take care now. Bye-bye.